All right, so we're gonna try to paint a pear. I just went to the grocery store and picked up this nice green and red pear. And hopefully I don't pick my nose while I'm doing this video. All right, so start. This is just a 6x8 um, paper. The brand is called Fluid, which is kind of okay brand, I guess. For more, if you need a better paper, I Arches or Fabriano is probably a better idea, but this will do for demonstrations and just do quick sketches. So using um, just mixtures of yellows, reds, and blues. Try not to use green. I just mix my greens and browns. They look better and more transparent. So try to be loose. The red I'm using is called Rose Madder, which is a very transparent red. It mixes well to make some nice browns and one of the best thing to do when you're painting is to try to squint as much as you can. It will help you to see better the edges and just eliminate any just things that your brain is trying to trick you to paint. I have a bad habit of not cleaning my palette, but that gives me just some grace that I can use. One of the best thing about painting in watercolors is how like things just bleed and blend into each other, the colors. So one thing about watercolors, they usually dry to a lesser intensity of the color you put in the beginning. So sometimes you have to put a little bit extra color if you want like a good effect. So I'm gonna do the blue, which is cobalt blue with some lemon yellow, and try to get the green color. Oh, looks good. So the good thing about mixing different colors by yourself is sometimes when you put them on the paper, they have a grainy look to them, which might work pretty well for this layer here. So unfortunately, when you paint in watercolors, you can't really do highlights like you do in oil paintings. Like you can't put um, white. You can't really add white. It's just um, well, it's kind of frowned upon. Although you can do whatever you want. For the sake of this painting, we're just trying to do transparent watercolors, which usually you can't put white in transparent watercolors. But some rules are there to be broken, so we'll see how things go in this painting. Unfortunately, the camera I'm using is not really giving me a good accurate color of what's happening here. But I ordered a new camera. We'll see if that can make a difference. Sometimes when the colors are bleeding upwards, I just change the angle. I usually use the masking tape just to lift things up a little bit. The lemon yellow I'm using is cadmium yellow from Da Vinci. Not really sure if I like it. It dries up very quickly and then it's hard to pick up from the palette. I usually like to use Holbein or Winsor and Newton. I think probably these are the best bet for watercolors. Sometimes I use a hair dryer, so I'm gonna go do that quickly. So when you want to glaze shadows, sometimes it's easier to do a flat brush like this because they don't carry too much pigment and the layer is much thinner. So I'm gonna try to do some shadow glazes. Um, just to get this thing a little bit more realistic. Um, for shadows, you want to use kind of a semi-transparent blue and mixed with red and yellow. It just depends how realistic or colorful you want it. If you want it to make it grayish, so you mix kind of all the same intensity. If you want to be artistic about it, you can just use complementary shadows. And so I'm kind of making like almost like a purple shadow here, just to complement this yellow on the side. So too dark, so we're gonna have to darken some of the values of the painting here. Um, hmm. That's why it's hard to do watercolors. You put one color that is just too off, and it's really hard to get back and so we'll put a little bit of yellow in here just to ease up that heavy shadow. Okay, feeling better. I'm looking at the here in front of me. There's a little bit of yellow right over here, and right over here. And there's a little bit of intense yellow right over here. It just now let's darken the shadow right over here. The edge is just a little too intense. I'll put a little bit of water and make it loosen it up a little bit. Sometimes if you're too close to the painting, you just have to move your head back. And when I'm doing oils, it's you can walk back from the easel, and this is a completely different way of painting. You're just too close, and sometimes that's not good because you have to look at the whole picture. So putting color is really nice and good and everything, but the painting doesn't really show until you put shadows. So shadows are the most important part of the painting. They just bring the painting to life. And put the shadow on the bottom last. Just throw some of this color right here in the shadow. Make the shadow more interesting. Other thing I do sometimes is what they call lifting color. So you can dry up the brush a little bit and just lift the color like this. If you put a little bit extra. Okay, I think it's actually looking pretty good, although the camera doesn't really show it. I'm gonna mix the shadow color. Painting very quickly. Usually, if you want to paint a really very detailed watercolor, you have to take your time, and it's usually not good to use a hair dryer, but I'm just doing this so I don't make this video too long. There you have it.